Washington State University researchers are part of a team of West Coast University collaborators that received a $7.6 million grant to study the impact of smoke exposure on grapes, a project that will provide critical knowledge to growers and winery owners severely impacted by widespread wildfire smoke in recent years.
Today we're running the fifth of our smoke exposure trials for this season, looking at the impact of smoke exposure on grape and wine quality. We typically start around 9 o'clock in the morning and we'll go through an entire night and then finish up the next evening. During that time, we'll collect samples of leaves, we'll collect samples of the fruit for analysis.
The WSU team is working with scientists at Oregon State University and the University of California, Davis on the 4-year project. Part of the research efforts involve exposing grapes to simulated smoke. The grapes are exposed to smoke for 36 hours, with samples taken every 6 hours to analyze how different amounts of smoke might affect the grapes and ultimately the final wine flavors.
There are a total of 17 researchers who are part of this grant across the 3 universities, and it really ties together up and down the West Coast.
In the wake of a challenging 2020 vintage, the West Coast grape and wine industry want to better understand how smoke density and composition impact grapes, grapevines, wine composition, and sensory perception of the wine in a glass. The research team is calling this a smoke-to-glass understanding.
We've had some success with different enzyme preparations to see which might work better or worse. Now we're ready to start trying it with different wines, both wines that we've created here and wines that have been affected by actual wildfires.
Goals for the grant build on work Collins has been doing this summer with WSU's Laboratory for Atmospheric Research, such as installing low-cost sensors and sensor networks in commercial vineyards throughout central Washington, and experimenting with barrier sprays for fruit to reduce or eliminate smoke uptake into grapes.
Having better information about where the smoke is and tying that with the composition of the smoke will help us understand things like, does it matter, or what are the impacts of smoke coming in from another region versus smoke from a local fire?
The team of West Coast researchers will work to assess the impact of smoke exposure on the health of grapes and grapevines and how to optimize rapid small batch fermentation to better predict what wine impacted by wildfire smoke will taste like.
The sensor networks, the work on analysis, development of analytical methods, and the work on making the connection between the chemistry that we see in the fruit and the perception that we have from the wines that are made from that fruit. I think those are all big components of this grant going forward. And it really makes that collaboration we've already started even stronger.
Results from Collins' trials are expected in early 2022.